Good morning, this is Dwayne, and today I'd like to talk about piano keys. This lesson is for beginners only, people that don't know where the piano keys are or how they're named or anything like that. So I'm going to start right at square one because I know there's a lot of people like that, and that's only natural. You can't see the entire span of my keyboard, but if you could, you would see that there's 88 keys, counting all the white and black keys. 88 keys from the bottom note, which is called low A, and the top note, which is called very high C. Okay? And in the middle of the keyboard, there's a note that we refer to as middle C, and it's right by the name of your keyboard. Like if your keyboard is Baldwin, it's probably right under that B in Baldwin. Mine is under the Y of Yamaha. Whatever the name of the keyboard is, it's right there. Okay? And that's kind of considered the center of the keyboard. So if you're playing the piano, you should position yourself so that your belly button is pointed at that middle C, because that way you can reach all the keys equally, both left and right. Now the keys are named from the bottom of the keyboard, which you can't see, but it starts with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just on the white keys. I'll talk about the black keys in a minute. Then it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G again, and then another A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then another A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and another A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and another A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So, from the low A to the next A is called an octave, octavo, octopus, 8. So there's 8 notes in an octave from A to the next A. A to A, 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 A to A. So there's 7 octaves, octavos, octopus, 7 sevens up the keyboard. Okay? Now, there's also 7 notes or an octave between both B's, both C's, D's, E's, and so on. So you can, if you go an octave, you can see that you have a repetition of the names of the keyboard. So let's stay here in the middle of the keyboard so we can see what we're doing with the camera. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it starts again with A. So now there's 3 black keys that are grouped together, and then there's 2 black keys that are grouped together, then 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, and so on, up and down the keyboard. Okay? Always to the left of those 2 black keys is a note called C. So if you find 2 black keys and go to the left, that's always a C. So if you have trouble finding the notes, just look for 2 black keys, go to the left, and that's a C. And then you can count up, of course, to D, E, F, G, and so on, okay, to find the other notes if you need to. Or you can count down. If that's a C, then you can go B, A, because the alphabet goes backwards, okay? Now, there's 3 black keys together, and so what's the note to the left of the 3 black keys? C, D, E, F. To the left of 3 black keys is always F, isn't it? So that way you can find all the notes of the alphabet easily just by noting the location of 2 black keys and 3 black keys. To the left of 2 black keys is C, to the left of 3 black keys is F, and then we can find the other notes of the keyboard. Now, what are these black keys called? Well, they're called sharps and flats. So if I go up a half step from any note, for example, this is C, and I go up a half step, that's called C sharp. Here's D, that's D sharp. Here's F, that's F sharp. Here's G, that's G sharp. Here's A, that's A sharp. Now, every black key, though, has 2 names. If I go up from C, that's C sharp, but if I go down from D, that's called D flat. If I go down from E, that's called E flat. If I go down from G, that's G flat. If I go down a half step from A, that's A flat. If I go down a half step from B, that's B flat. So every black key is both a flat and a sharp. It depends how it's used. Okay? Like you're the same person, but you may be a child. I mean, you may be the son but you also may be a father, or you may be a brother. Okay, you have different roles in life. Well, these black keys have different roles. The role of that key is C sharp or it's D flat, depending on how it's used. And we'll talk about key orientation a little later. So that's C sharp and D flat. What's the name of that key? Well, it's above D, so it's called D sharp, and it's below E, so that's called E flat. What's the name of that black key? Right, it's half step up from F, so it's F sharp. It's down from G, so it's G flat. This black key is called G sharp or A flat. This black key is A sharp or B flat. Okay? Now, one thing you don't, those are called enharmonic tones, by the way, or enharmonic notes. Enharmonic means there's two names for the same truth, same pitch, okay? In other words, if you hear that played, you can't tell whether it's a C sharp or a D flat because it's enharmonic. It sounds the same, but it is written differently on sheet music. It could be written as a C sharp, could be written as a D flat. Enharmonic notes, okay? Now, there are also white enharmonic notes. For example, there's no black key to the left of C, is there? So, sometimes in music I'll run into a C flat on sheet music, and since there's no black key, I have to play that. So that note we normally call B is also called C flat. And there's no sharp key to the right of B, is there? So if I want a sharp B, if I have a B sharp, then it's called, it looks like C, but it's notated as B sharp. Where's E sharp? That's right, a half step above E sharp would be the equivalent of F, but it's enharmonic with F, so we have to call it E sharp. If you see in sheet music a flat on F, where would you play that? That's right, you go down a half step to what looks like E, but you'd have to call it F flat. So white notes can be enharmonic as well as black keys. Okay? Now there's also enharmonic chords, and we're not going to cover chords today, but that's a C chord, okay? But it also could be called what? B sharp, the B sharp chord. This chord could be known as C sharp, or it could be known as D flat, right? You name the chord by the root note, okay? So that is an enharmonic chord that could be C sharp, or D flat. Okay? This is the D chord. What's that? Well, that's an enharmonic chord that could be D sharp or E flat, right? Here's F. What's that? That's the F sharp chord, F sharp major chord. These are all major chords I'm playing. That's the F sharp major chord, or it could be called G flat, right? Enharmonic. That's the G sharp chord or the A flat chord, enharmonic with each other. That's the A sharp or the B flat chord, enharmonic with one another. So, there's all the piano keys, and you've learned that some are called enharmonic tones because they have more than one use. So there we have a little introduction to the piano keys. And next time I think I'll talk about the concept of keys. In other words, you can play in the key of C, or you can play in the key of D flat, or you can play in the key of D, or the key of E flat, or the key of E, or the key of F, or the key of G flat, and so on, okay? And there's enharmonic keys as well as enharmonic notes and chords. So we'll save that for next time, so bye-bye for now. Thanks for being with me, and there's lots more good stuff over at playpiano.com. So come on over and sign up for our free newsletter. You'll be glad you did. Thanks. Bye.